Today we're going to be looking at the Maono PD200W wireless dynamic microphone. We're going to start off by talking a bit about who this mic is for, and then we'll do an unboxing. We're going to talk about some of the physical features of the product, and then we'll also talk about some of the tech behind it. And we'll do a sound check at the end so you can hear it for yourself. So without further ado, let's get into it. This is for the person who sits at their desk and records podcasts or YouTube content like I am now. Maybe you do voiceover work, this could also be for you. It has a lot of features that we're gonna get into later in this video that make it perfect for those situations. It is a dynamic cardioid microphone, and I'll put the polar pattern and frequency response up on the screen so you can take a look. That's for you audio nerds out there. And this microphone does come in at a bit of a cheaper price point compared to some of your other podcast style or voiceover mics like the Shure SM7B. It has a really nice design and cool RGB lighting, so it does kind of have this like nice aesthetic to it that you might want in your videos. Like I said, it's more budget friendly, so that's something to keep in mind, but it's made by Maono and they make some really good microphones. I'm using the wireless Wave T5 right now, so that's the audio you're hearing. I'm really happy with their microphones and I kind of think they're a really underrated brand. Anyways, let's take a look at the unboxing so you can see what actually comes in the box. That was a bit redundant, but let's go. So here's the box itself, and open it up. It's got some instructions printed on the box, which is nice. And if we open it up, it's got foam, lots of foam, more instruction manuals right here. We got the microphone itself, so I'm just gonna pull that out, set it aside. Comes with a USB-C cable that also has the USB-A adapter built in. The microphone itself looks really nice. It feels premium too. It doesn't feel cheap at all. Has this shock absorber and a very soft velvety pop filter. Just gonna pop these open. Let's see what's inside. So this is a USB-C receiver that would plug into your phone if you wanted to record with your phone. A shorter USB-C cable with an adapter and the female connection. Now, if we remove some of this styrofoam, inside you'll see this. It comes with this weighted base plate to mount the microphone stand to, as well as this extension arm and mount for the actual microphone itself. So if we take the base plate, it's really got a lot of weight to it. Then take the extension arm, we can screw it in. Okay, so if we back the camera up a bit, I can also show you how the microphone screws into the base. Just like that, and that feels pretty solid. All right, so now let's talk about some of the physical features on this mic. The first thing, obviously, is the weighted stand. Now, you could mount this to a boom arm if you really wanted to. I don't have one, and for my desktop setup, I don't really like using a boom arm, so the weighted stand is actually perfect for me, and it feels really solid and sturdy. It doesn't feel like some cheap plastic or anything like that. It is made of metal. However, the extension arm is made of plastic, but again, it feels solid. Then you also have the shock absorber that the mic is mounted into, which is nice for avoiding any unwanted vibrations while you're recording. It also has this pop filter right here, or windscreen, whatever you want to call it, that you can remove. And it does really feel like velvety and soft. I kind of like just playing with it. But anyways, that goes back on there. You also have your gain knob right on top over here. So this gain knob controls not only the gain of the microphone, but also the headphone volume, because at the back, there is a headphone jack that you can plug your headphones in if you wanted to listen to yourself speak as you talk and use the microphone. Then you've also got the mute button on top. That's pretty self-explanatory. And you'll notice on the back of the microphone, along with the headphone jack, there's also an XLR output that you could use if you wanted to use an XLR mic. But I would say one of the strong features about this microphone is not that it uses XLR, but actually that it uses USB-C. So you could use the USB-C to plug it directly into your computer, or if you have an audio interface, you can use the XLR as well. As I mentioned before, it does come with a USB-C receiver that you could use to plug into your phone if you wanted to record audio that way. One thing I love about this microphone is that you can use it with a wired connection if you wanted to, but it also works wirelessly. And I'm gonna show you how to set all that up in just a few. Now, one of the coolest things about this mic, in my opinion, is that, wait for it, it has full RGB lights. If you're not a fan of the kind of rainbow look, then you could just click this back button right here. That's gonna change the color of the light, or you could just turn it off as well if you don't want any lights. Now on the mic stand itself, you do have this adjustable knob to change the angle of the microphone. And you also have this knob at the back here, which allows you to extend the mic stand if you need a bit of extra height. Now, one important thing about this microphone is that when you're using it, you don't want to talk to it at a side angle like this. For it to work good, you need to talk directly into the front of the mic. Okay, now that we've talked about some of the physical features, let's dive into some of the tech within this microphone. So if you wanted to use a wired connection with this microphone, it's as simple as plugging in your USB-C to the back of the microphone and then plugging it into your computer. Or if you wanted to use XLR, it's as simple as plugging the XLR to the back of the microphone and then into your audio interface. But that's not the cool part. The cool part about this mic is that you can actually use it wirelessly as well. All you gotta do is take the little receiver that it comes with, plug the receiver into your phone, turn on the microphone, and then you'll know it's connected when the receiver turns green. Now, if you wanted to use it wirelessly with your computer, you could take this little dongle that they've included. There is a female end on one side and then a male end on the other side with USB-A or USB-C as well. Take the receiver, plug it into the adapter, and then plug this into your computer. It really is that easy, and that's gotta be one of my favorite features about this microphone. Another cool feature about this microphone is that it has varying levels of noise canceling that you can enable or disable completely if you don't want any noise canceling. To enable noise canceling, all you gotta do is hold down the gain knob for 3 seconds and then it'll turn green. And then once it's green, you can increase or decrease noise canceling by turning the dial, and the brighter the light, the more noise canceling, and the darker the green light, the less noise canceling you'll have. And if you do choose to use this microphone on your computer, Maono has the Maono Link software that allows you to control and fine-tune the settings of your microphone to really dial it in and give you that nice sound quality that you might be looking for. Okay, so now that we've covered some of the most significant features about this microphone, the rest of this video is gonna be recorded using the mic itself. We're gonna do a sound check, you'll see the mic in action, and you'll hear it for yourself. Okay, so now the audio that you're hearing is coming directly from the Maono PD200W. The rest of this video is going to be recorded with this microphone to give you an idea of the sound quality. As we go through some tests, I got the headphones on, plugged directly into the microphone, not the computer, so I'm gonna give you my thoughts in real time. Okay, so I'm in the Maono Link software now, and the cool thing about this is that it automatically recognizes the device that's plugged into the computer. So in this case, the PD200W, you can see it up there. You do have microphone gain and headphone volume in the software as well, or you could, like I mentioned earlier in the video, you could use the gain knob on the front of the microphone. Now, the cool thing about this is that you can also record audio directly from the Maono Link software. There's this little record button here, so if you click that, it'll start recording. And then once you're done, you just click stop, and then you can export the file onto your desktop or wherever you want. That's kind of handy, but I'm sure if you're doing actual professional voiceovers or anything like that, you're probably gonna want to use a more professional software. What I love about Maono and what they do really well with their products is simplicity. They just give you the stuff that you need. They make it easy to use, and it's not all like complicated and stuff. You can just plug it in and it just starts working right away. The software is easy to use. The microphone itself is easy to use. All right, so to show you what this mic can do, we can go into our Maono Link software and go over to scenes. And then you have these EQ presets up here. So I'm gonna switch it to podcast and you'll hear what that sounds like. Okay, so this is the podcast setting. Makes it a little bit bassier. I kind of like that. I don't know. You can add reverb here too if you really want. That's the podcast 1 configuration. I could change it to podcast 2. And this is what that sounds like. Podcast 2 also sounds pretty good. You can also export and import different EQ presets if you wanted to do that. Let's check the game one. All right, so this is the game preset. I can definitely hear that there's a lot less bass in there and the kind of mids are a little bit higher. Do I sound like a gamer right now? Everybody rush B. Okay, and there's also one for singing. So if you're a singer, whoa, it has a bit of reverb on it too. By a bit, I mean a lot. So if you're a singer and this is what you're into, cool. But we could change it to folk. Okay, so this is the folk sing preset. Okay, and now we're back to the original configuration, the default one, if you will. So this is kind of just like your neutral flat EQ curve. You might want to use this if you're recording voiceovers, and then you can kind of tweak the EQ later. Okay, lights. We have a lights tab over here, RGB lighting, we can turn that on, fancy, fancy. We can change it from fixed, breathing, looping. We can change all the different colors that we want, increase the brightness if we want. We can add our own colors here, like this is cool. You can pick whatever color you want. Now, one thing I do want to do before we conclude this audio test is try to get this mic to clip. I'm gonna crank the gain and see what it takes to get this thing to clip. So I'm still talking normal volume. It is significantly louder. I'm gonna raise my voice and see how it handles the distortion. Not bad, I do hear some clipping, but overall this is pretty good. I don't know why you would ever talk like this. So it does handle the distortion pretty well. Okay, now I'm also I'm gonna try whispering. I'm whispering. Maybe you make ASMR content and you wanna whisper. How does that sound? From what I can hear, this mic has a pretty solid dynamic range. So now last but not least, we're gonna test out the noise canceling because that might be the coolest feature that this microphone comes with. Okay, so let's enable noise canceling on the mic itself. Crank that all the way up. Whoa, that sounds pretty good. Okay, so right now you're listening to the most aggressive form of noise canceling that this mic comes with. I'm going to turn off noise canceling and I won't do any post-processing to the audio, and you'll hear the noise floor kind of come back in. That's just the sound of my computer and the HVAC unit or whatever in my home. So, aggressive noise canceling, no noise canceling. You can hear the noise floor. Now, you might want to do this in post-production if you're recording any type of voiceover content or YouTube content, anything like that. But if you were doing a podcast, you could turn on noise canceling and it comes directly from the microphone source. It's a nice option to have. Okay, let's go down to moderate. This is moderate noise canceling. And this is the lowest setting. It's called slight noise canceling. Also pretty good. I do hear that noise floor in the background a little bit. Okay, and now noise canceling is turned completely off. Overall, it's a really nice feature to have. It's very seamless. And I'm doing this on my computer, but if you wanted to use this microphone with your phone, they also have an app for your phone that allows you to kind of tweak all these settings. So they've really created kind of a system here that makes this microphone really simple and easy to use. And it gives you access to all these features that make your production quality a little bit higher. So overall, I really enjoy using this microphone. It's simple, easy to set up, and it's very intuitive, not complicated at all. The front dial is where you might get a little confused because different colors mean different things, but I'll put a diagram up on screen that shows you what all the different colors mean. Okay, so final thoughts. I think this is the best value microphone on the market. It's packed with features that are really gonna up your production quality, and it's really simple and easy to use. The fact that you can use a wired connection or wireless connection with your phone is huge. This mic is perfect for any type of content creator, podcaster, and even the voiceover artist who just wants to record some high quality audio, but maybe doesn't have the higher budget for some of those higher end microphones like the Shure SM7B. Yeah, so I gotta say, this is the best value microphone on the market in my opinion. I would highly recommend it. Sounds great. Audio quality, you can judge for yourself. It's solid, it feels premium, and it's a great bang for your buck product. If you're interested in learning more about Maono microphones, I made another video about the wireless Wave T5, which I used in the first half of this video, but I go in depth in this video right here that you can click on. Don't forget to subscribe if you're interested in video production content, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.